actually turns in January, but for sports people, we think this is Happy New Year. We start thinking about all your programs, clean slate, undefeated, and ready to rock. What do you think right now, I guess, the state of IU athletics in this exciting time?
Well, it's an optimistic time of year, right? We're just starting and undefeated and everything. Really excited about IU athletics across the board, but particularly our premier sports, basketball, men's basketball and football. I feel like the foundation's being laid to really get where we want to be. I'm very optimistic about the future. We're here starting football, getting ready to start football today. We'll be starting men's basketball before you know it, and all of other sports, but I know there's a keen interest in those two, and I'm very optimistic about both.
Now I look at this building and I say, wow, this would be awesome to have this filled up with IU and Purdue fans, but I understand that's not something you'd be too keen on.
Yeah, I love this building. I feel a lot of ownership in this building, and I'm an Indianapolis guy. But I think when you dig down, as Mike Babinski and I have done, and start looking at the impact on the local communities, the college towns of West Lafayette, Bloomington, our season ticket holders, the logistics, I certainly don't want to be part of displacing the high school games. And as you look at the calendar that weekend, it just narrows itself down, and do you really want to be playing on Thanksgiving Day and all that? So I think it probably just logistically doesn't work out. I think there's other ways that we can try to enhance the rivalry. I do think that the fact that the students aren't on campus, we're paying a price for that. It's not good, and we got to figure out a way to make that work. And Mike and I have really worked hand in hand to try to figure that out.
You've got the Crossroads Classic in basketball. How important is it to continue to get IU football here when you can?
Yeah, I love having IU football here, particularly when it's a Ball State home game, because we want to keep as many home games in Bloomington to create a tradition of people coming down there for games. So I think you asked Tom how many times we'd like to play it here in the season, at least twice, maybe a non-conference game and then the championship.
Are there some rules about, as far as what you can do if suppose you brought a home game here, about bringing recruits and things like that, things you can't do that you can do that are better suited to be in Bloomington?
Probably, The book's that thick. I don't really try to know the book. I know my compliance director's phone number. Is this okay? Is that okay? I think those things should probably be managed. I think there'd be some undeniable benefits to having it here, but when all is said and done, if you look at the pros and cons, I think keeping the bucket on the respective campuses is the right thing to do.
When you get ready, when you look at your athletic programs, do you in your mind say, okay, I expect the football team to win this many games, I expect the basketball team to win this many games, or is that something you kind of evaluate as the seasons progress?
Really the latter, Chris. I think it's sort of lazy for an administrator to say, well, if we don't win this many games, if we don't qualify for this postseason tournament, if we don't do this or that, it's sort of an automatic pilot. It's like, it's not my fault. I said it, and that's where it is. I think that's kind of lazy because things happen. Quarterbacks go down, weird games happen, injuries occur. So, it's no secret I'm ambitious. I want to be at a championship level, but I think it's short-sighted to set what are ultimately arbitrary goals.
How important is Indianapolis to IU athletics?
Oh, it's critically important. It's our biggest sending region in terms of the entire university. It's a hotbed of talent, traditionally in basketball, but increasingly in football. We talk a lot about Archie Miller's inside-out strategy in basketball, and that's critical. A lot of those great players are out of Indianapolis. That's happened more and more in football, right? So last year, Tom recruited 4 of the top 6 Indiana football recruits in Indiana. That's a big deal because football is much better, and to some extent, getting closer to where basketball has always been a great hotbed, and getting the best kids out of Indianapolis is important to us.
With the Big Ten kind of having the 9 conference games, would it be tough to schedule a marquee team here, like a Power 5 team, or would you welcome kind of that 10th game against a high-quality opponent?
Kevin, honestly, I don't think we're looking to bring some powerhouse in on those 3. By geographic result, we're in the Big Ten East. We play every year Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State. We've had not only challenges with those teams since I've been here, but for the last 50 or 60 years. So we're trying to break through a long time disparity with those power teams, and then Maryland and Rutgers are no slouches either. And then our crossover games this year against Northwestern, who was the West champ last year, and Nebraska, who a lot of people are picking to win the whole thing. You've been to Nebraska, of course. That's one of your 48. And then Purdue, is really, really strong. So we've got all we can really handle with our conference teams, and in the non-conference season, we're not looking to bring in, another Power 5 profile type team. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fred.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.